The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. The American Italian Cultural Center and Museum on South Peters in New Orleans offers event venue space, Italian language classes, dual citizenship and translation services, seminars, genealogy, and trips to Italy. Ciao! AmericanItalianCulturalCenter.com. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
Good evening, I'm Peggy Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio.
Hey,
hello,
Peg.
my dear. Hello. Oh my goodness, vocalist, singer, composer, Susan Cowsill. Yes,
Hey,
Susan
Peg.
Cowsill, long a part of the legendary Cowsills music group, but also performing very much on her own too, and in concert on Friday. Welcome to our table.
Thank you very much,
And
Peggy.
last year around this time, you were with the Continental Drifters revival,
Mm-hmm.
which was great. Welcome, welcome.
WYES loves us.
We do.
We love y'all.
Oh, same, believe me, feeling is mutual. Alfred Richard, movie critic for WWL-TV. Hello.
Hello there, Peggy.
And Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and theatercriticism.com. But that's not all. John Zaller, executive producer of Claude Monet. We're giving you a real scoop here. Claude Monet, the Immersive Experience, opening next week at downtown's Scottish Rite Temple. If you went to Van Gogh, you gotta go to Monet. Welcome, John, and we'll talk to you a little bit later. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Peggy.
But first off, Miss Poppy, love the necklace, darling.
Well, Peggy, this is a spicy gumbo necklace. It is the latest from Mignon Faget. It's spicy because it's got red beads and blue beads and color in it that spices it up. This is the gumbo bowl. It's also available as a cup, but it absolutely blew my mind when I discovered that this is the great-great-granddaughter of the original gumbo necklace, fourth generation. They're innovating, evolving there. Now there's a Bloody Mary necklace. Remember red beans and rice? Well, the red beans are now red because they're dipped in rose gold. So go see everything
Mignon
new
Faget,
and
baby.
old from Mignon Faget. They are just two locations and online. And look for a snowball version of a great big necklace coming soon. And speaking of snowballs coming soon, Hanson Snow Bliss season opening is tomorrow. And there's Ashley and her dad, the judge, Gerald Hanson, and the next generation, Gordy and Avery, and look, Sally the Snow Blitz dog. So they open for the season, the 85th season tomorrow. That's noon until 6. They'll be open then regularly Wednesdays through Sundays, 85 years. And you can go celebrate that on Saturday with crawfish from Mela popping up right outside of Hanson Snow Blitz. Crawfish, Snow Blitz, it must be spring. Now, there's another Uptown icon celebrating a big birthday, 90 years of Robert's Bar and Liquor Store. Isn't that so? They're celebrating this on Saturday. The free food starts at 5. The music starts at 7. Stop in and have a Jell-O shot for me. They're always there at the bar. And then, speaking of liquor, if you gave alcohol up for Lent, the Ralph Brennan's Restaurant Group is really ready for you to come visit with their spirit-free cocktail creations everywhere from Brennan's to Ralph's on the Park. But what that is at the Napoleon House, they're mixing it up with an alcohol-free Pimm's cup that has CBD and THC. My, how modern we are. Imagine that.
Oh my goodness.
Something entirely new.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Then, where was that? At the Napoleon House. Where else would you have a Pim's Cup?
For a friend, okay.
For a friend. And then, tonight, last chance after this show, go to the computer to get your early bird tickets for Food Fight, which is the ultimate contest for cocktails and food with over 40 participants this year. It's Thursday, March 14th at the Carousel at Lafreniere Park.
Oh my goodness. Once again. Woo. All right, thank you so much. And Susan, so much to talk to you about. And let's, I guess, look back for a minute. We're going to show you some amazing photos of you and your brothers. And I remember the Cowsills so well. This is your life, baby. This is your life. And one of my favorites of all your songs was Hair. And you're on the Hair.
I'm Ann Spaghetti.
And you're Ann Spaghetti.
Ann Spaghetti, baby.
Ann Spaghetti. And how old were you when you
I was 8 years old when I was Ann Spaghetti.
And spaghetti. But you live here. You are a committed Orleanian.
I've been here for 30 years.
Which is just amazing, and you've got a lot going on. And but before we go very far, let us hear a little bit of a more recent performance and set up this song for us.
Well, which one is it?
It's Another Summer.
Another Summer Coming. Okay, well, we talked a lot earlier about Another Summer Coming. It's a song about all of us, about everybody having a story. Everybody has a story. And it's not just, the people writing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's about all of us.
Well, you can hear her Friday, but here's a sneak peek of that.
Another summer coming, just wait and see. I got my heart from my pocket, and I took it off of my sleeve. And I'm gonna stay right here while the miracles arrive. And hey, I might even get out of here Another summer coming. I'm not 14, but I'm still free.
And Susan, not only do you live here, but you're
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. But you're traveling around a lot on tour
Quite a
with
bit.
your brothers.
On tour with the boys, the Cowsill boys. The Cowsills are still up and running.
New album?
New album, Rhythm of the World, came out last year, and we're still touring behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we are. Whatever could I be thinking? We are on a classic 60s tour with the Turtles every summer, with a bunch of other bands, the Association, the Buckinghams, the Vogues, Jay and the Americans. Little Anthony was on last year. That was cool. Look, yeah, there's our new album by the Cowsills.
That's a great cover.
First new music in 30 years. And it's amazing to have a job at my age. I keep getting all these things in the mail about my retirement. I didn't know I was retiring, and I'm so excited. And then I found out, well, that doesn't really apply to me. So,
well, Cowsill.com for more details
and
about
Facebook,
your travel.
Absolutely, and Facebook, you can find out everything we're doing. And then
tell us about Friday.
Friday's so exciting because I don't get to play much at home anymore because I am very gratefully busy with the family band. So Friday we are at the George and Joyce Wein Jazz and Heritage Center, WYES. And that's at 8 o'clock. Doors are at 7. I'm sorry, y'all, but I've been listening to Miss Laborde for 30 years, and it's kind of so March 1st at the Cultural Center of George and Joyce Ween.
That's a nice
That's what I've
space.
heard. I have not been there
wait.
yet, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, really nice.
It's
but
just
what
such
an honor to be
Thank you.
included.
That's what I'm
the
thinking.
I love how often do you get to say the word chanteuse?
Yes,
You know, chanteuse
it makes me
series.
sound young and innocent and just starting off
And it's
on
going
my
to be streamed too, which is
so
pretty
cool. Yeah,
huh?
my relatives
Very
were happy
cool.
to hear about that.
Yeah.
The folks back home.
Absolutely.
So great. Thanks for having me on about
absolutely.
it. I really
It's
do
great to have
appreciate
you
it. And
with us.
I want to
Yes,
be on
indeed.
y'all's show. I want to. What else can I talk about?
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out because we love having you. But I'm so glad you're
We
here
need a new
today.
theme song. Go for it.
That's right.
Oh, I could do that.
And moving on to Mr. Alfred.
Oh my goodness, I'm hearing you both in stereo now. It's like, we're going to be talking about movies and television productions. As we all know, the writer's strike and the actor's strike finally came to an end, but productions are slowly picking up in the New Orleans area. I picked out 3 that are starting up at this point so that people get an idea what it's like. Back last year we had, or the year before that as well, we had AMC, American Movie. It used to be American Movie Classics. Now it's just AMC. They gave us the Mayfair Witches, or Anne Rice's Mayfair Witches. Well, people liked it. So we now have Mayfair Witches 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I liked it.
No Boogaloo.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's a very good series. Not just because I was in a couple of the episodes. I'm just going to be clear
And
about
Leslie
that.
Castay was in it too, local
That's
actress.
correct.
Uh-huh.
Harry Hamlin also was a star in that series as well, and a lot of filming around the New Orleans area. The production started back on January 29th, and it's supposed to end on April 5th to try to get the season started. So again, AMC is where you can get to see the Mayfair Witches Season 2. Now, another young man who's been a visitor to New Orleans for many years, he did a series called The Librarian many years back, and I had a chance to work on that one too. This is a series called Leverage. And now this is called Leverage Redemption. This is season 3 of that series. Noah Wiley plays the main star in this film, so in this series there. So you're going to see another, there he is right there, completely unshaven, but hey, still looking good. And Noah and the rest of the I'm saying Redemptorist, I'll show my age. Leverage Redemption Season 3 is starting their production on the 29th of January, and they're going to conclude around May 23rd. Of course, times may vary, and that appeared on TNT Network. And now, talking about rock and roll, we got the band back together because this is a film that is being shot here in New Orleans. Yes, Spinal Tap 2.
No,
Yeah.
I want to be in.
Hello, we got to get her back. We got to get Susan on this one.
Yeah, I need to be in Spinal Tap.
The original cast members are all together again. Michael
Harry.
McKeon, Harry Shearer, and Christopher
Guest.
Guest.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Christopher
Christopher
Guest. And they're all together. Right now, the subtitle of this series, of this movie, is called Goodbye, Cleveland! For those who, of course, remember in the original
Of
Spinal
course.
Tap. And that was even more fun when the Stompers, when we went to Cleveland and we were in the arena, we just walked around trying to go, where are we going? Come on, Cleveland! Also, Rob Reiner is going to be back as the director of this pseudo-documentary showing the
So
Spinal Tap
exciting.
Boys back again. And New Orleans, I guess you could call him a New Orleanian, Harry Shearer. He is going to be back, of course, as the bass player
Yes.
for Spinal Tap. It's so good to get the band back together here again. Goodbye, Cleveland, or Spinal Tap 2. The production is going to start on the 6th of March and will go all the way until April 12th. But who knows? It may come back for an encore, because that's what it is.
Well, Alfred, I have to say, I'm sure most people who've watched it like at least 2 or 3 times realize this, but maybe for the uninitiated, a
Yes.
lot of that is very spontaneous. It's just sort of made up. They're rolling camera because they're that good.
They were that good. And of course, we all know the classic line when Rob Reiner is asking one of the members of the Spinal Tap band, we say, whenever we want a little extra in this, we turn it up to 11. And Rob Reiner then says, well, why don't you just make 10 louder? Pause. This goes to 11.
Thank you so much. Hey, let's keep with the music here, Mr. Allen.
That's true, because anyone who's lived through the past 6 decades has come to know and love the Temptations. And if you love the Temptations, the most successful rhythm and blues group in history, really, the chart toppers for the Motown record group, of course, Ain't Too Proud to Beg is yours. Ain't Too Proud is subtitled The Life and Times of the Temptations. And it's clearly the story of Otis Williams, the leader and last surviving member of the original popular group, played by Michael Andreas. He serves as the narrator for this book that was written, by the way, by playwright Dominique Morisseau. So a really eminent and Tony-nominated scriptwriter, as it were, with ballads like I Wish It Would Rain and My Girl. The Temptations had their frontman, David Ruffin, played by Elijah Ahmed Lewis. He took the group on a string of incredible hits, but at a terrible price, of course, due to his ego and, of course, the drugs that took over. Ain't Too Proud, of course, features cute pop hits like The Way You Do the Things You Do and heartbreakers like What Becomes of the Brokenhearted, while telling the story of the group itself. And then Jalen Harris plays another lead singer, Eddie Kendricks, who took the group on another egocentric ride. He smoothly sang Just My Imagination, Running Away With Me. He took the group on other issues-oriented tunes like Cloud 9 and Ball of Confusion. But it's not all about the boys. No. Look, Amber Mariah Taylor stars as Diana Ross, and the Supremes here. They put in several appearances with the Temptations. There's great projections by Peter Negrini, who does some wonderful effects as well as wonderful lighting and sound designs. The choreography by Sergio Trujillo is also terrific, and the orchestrations by Harold Wheeler and arrangements by Kenny Seymour make this really one fantastic jukebox musical. The songs are taken, of course, from the entire Motown catalog. They're not just Temptation songs, and you'll be singing along with the fellas on stage, but unless you're Susan, please don't. Ain't Too Proud to Beg, of course, finishes its run at the Sanger This Theater. Now, biting satire, it really must be carefully presented. If it doesn't go far enough, you could say it comes across as insincere and tepid. But if it goes too far, it could be considered as inappropriate and insensitive. George C. Wolfe's The Color Museum was first produced back in 1986 as a study of the black experience in America as seen through the prism of parody. The first of 11 vignettes that you'll see with this particular show invites everybody aboard Celebrity with 3 flight attendants reminding you that the captain insists we fasten our shackles as we prepare to leave for the Caribbean on our way to Charleston. You know, a little biting there. In the next scene, Pamela Roberts as Aunt Ethel gives a cooking demonstration, but you're not going to believe what goes into her pot or what she comes up with. Roberts, who's also the associate co-artistic director, sings her way through this entire scene to great effect. And D.C. Paul and Jordan Bordenave, they have a scene in which they reveal what they call the soldier's secret for all those black soldiers who have died fighting wars. And then way ahead of its time, I cannot believe, is a piece titled Lala's Opening, in which Matthew Thompson as Lala, a black transgender whose words could easily be spoken in today's world. So again, a lot going on there. Jordan Bordenave takes on the questions of teenage pregnancy with her scene titled Permutations, in which she reveals she's given birth to a giant egg filled with babies who will soon fly away. One of the more hysterical vignettes is when a black woman is confronted by her 2 hairpieces, and they talk to each other. The first played by April Louise, a long straight fall, and the other a natural afro played by Riga Ruby. The 2 clash as they try to make the case for which wig would be best for when she's going to break up with her boyfriend. Aria Jackson is another great talent featured in this ensemble. The presentation of the Color Museum is in line with the company's awareness of black community issues confronting and affecting our present-day black culture. And meanwhile, at the World War II Museum, Peggy, we want to remind you that the BB Stage Door Canteen is going on with some really talented ladies on stage. They're talking about lady groups with the Andrews Sisters in the 40s and the Chiffons in the 60s. You'll see a lot of different groups and different songs presented. The luncheons are going to be starting next Thursday, and then they settle down on Wednesdays through Father's Day with a special Father's Day Sunday show. Tickets are $22 for just the show and $48 for the luncheon and the show. And then in mid in March, the World War II Museum does a little bit of a pivot, new adaptation of The Diary of Anne Frank at BB Stage Door Canteen. That show will run 2 hours, and it's slated to be seen on weekends from March 15th through the 24th.
All right, thank you so much. And John, speaking to us from Atlanta, as a matter of fact, we're thrilled that you could be with us to talk about, now, for almost 2 years, we were fortunate to have the immersive experience of Van Gogh downtown in New Orleans at the Scottish Rite Temple. But now you're changing it up and you're bringing Monet. Tell us about what we can expect in this immersive experience. What does that mean exactly?
So Claude Monet, the immersive experience, really is what it says it is. It's a full-on 20,000 square foot experience that fully immerses you in the life of Claude Monet, the artist. And we do that through a series of galleries, one that introduces you to the life of the artist. So you learn through a series of information panels and interactives about his life, his style, his technique, why he painted the way he painted, and how he came to paint that way. One of the really interesting things about Monet is that at the same time that he was coming up, photography had been invented. So a lot of people said, well, that's it for painting now that we have photography. And Monet said, not so fast. A photograph can show you what something looks like, but it can't show you how it feels.
Well, I love the fact that you walk from room to room. And when you talk about immersive, because it is all around you, and we're showing a little bit about this, but it's more than just looking at pretty pictures, because you're telling the story of Monet's life, too.
Well, without a doubt, I mean, with Claude Monet, we actually take you to the places that he inhabited. So we take you to his atelier that he loved so much in Giverny, where you can really see the touches of his life, and you hear messages from the artist. We take you into his gardens at Giverny, which are an incredible experience. I think we're going to have more than 1 or 2 proposals in there, as love is in the air. And then, of course, our immersive gallery, 7,000 square feet with 30-foot high walls, projections all around you in 360 degrees on the floors and on the walls, where you see over 400 of Monet's works come to life in beautiful animation. And Monet was such a master of color that the colors just wash over you and really immerse you in this way that becomes very centering and very focused.
We should also point out the opportunity, may I just add the opportunity for virtual reality. There's a special segment that you can take part in, and I did this for the Van Gogh exhibit, and it was wonderful that you put the glasses on and you were walking as if you were in Arles, where he spent, of course, a lot of time. And so this time I can't wait to do that too. But that's a whole other special aspect
exactly
to
the
it.
case. The virtual reality actually follows Monet on his voyages, because he did travel around Europe quite a bit. So it takes you on the journey of Monet's travels throughout Europe, from London to Venice to the south of France, of course, to Giverny, where you're bathed in his water lily paintings. It's about a 10-minute virtual reality experience that is a great grand finale to the overall experience. One other thing, Peggy, is you can unleash your inner artist as well. You can actually take a Monet masterpiece, color it in, scan it into our scanner at the show, and become a part of the show forever.
Oh, wow. I love that. Well, once again,
now I will say too, the Scottish Rite is such an incredible building. It hasn't been really seen by a lot of New Orleans folks for 100 years. So we're really excited to bring it back to life. I mean, it was a closed society. But we're also going to have special events. So we'll have a yoga experience. We're going to have some live music. Who knows, maybe Susan will perform there.
Wow.
Just never know.
And there's also the availability for private events as well.
Well, very good. Well, thank you so much. Once again, this opens next week, and you can go to the website and for tickets. I love the fact that you aren't hurried along. You have plenty of time to go to each of the rooms. And John, I thank you for your vision in this, because I know this is your baby. So congratulations. And
thank you.
We're
Thanks so
lucky
much,
to have
Mary.
this in New Orleans. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
Okay. And now WYES's next season of Good Taste Dinner will take place March the 6th. Here's Dana Hansel to preview an intriguing new dining experience.
Hi, I'm Dana Hansel with WYES, here with another season of Good Taste Dinner, and what a special one. So I'm here today with Joe Menard of Criollo of Hotel Montleon. Yes, there's a fabulous restaurant in the Hotel Montleon. you are actually going to have a tiny little chef go out and cook the various parts of the meal and bring them to your plate. So chef, tell us more about this menu and how this little chef's gonna do that.
Well, we've got a wonderful, smallest chef in the world. We're gonna cook this wonderful 5-course meal with you, with the chef, and really give you some great presentation. We've got a 5-course meal with 5 wine pairings, starting with a Sancerre, working all the way down into a Pinot de Chardonnay, which is a wonderful cognac-based dessert wine to go with our Laborde at the end.
Oh, yum. And I saw lobster and filet and all kind of fabulous things. So you need to go and get those tickets fast because they're only $24. This is the only restaurant in the state of Louisiana with this unique dining experience. WYES.org/events. Thank you.
That's going to be so much fun. Time for picks. Poppy.
Tarot Tea Thursdays are back at the Windsor Court, noon seating only, readings from the bottom of the cup tea room, doing psychic readings since 1929.
Alfred.
The Patois New Orleans Human Rights Film Festival starts on Wednesday the 6th through Sunday the 10th. And on Sunday the 10th, join me and Phil and Heidi Melanson and gang over at the Britannia for the Oscars Awards show.
Woohoo! That's going to be so much fun, too. Alan.
Kalina Bovell, who was slated to appear here but canceled due to illness, the conductor, will be able to make her debut here with Louisiana Philharmonic next Thursday night. She'll be around for the Tchaikovsky Symphony No. 4 and 2 shorter works by James Lee III and Jennifer Higdon, and I'll see you at the theater.
All right, now my picks. The New Orleans Ballet Association presents Le Ballet de Monte Carlo's version of Swan Lake. That's Saturday evening at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. Go to nobadance.com for tickets. Artist Jan Gilbert, Babette Boileau, and Elizabeth Shannon will exhibit new work at the Grider Gallery. That's on Julia Street, 615, with an opening reception. That's this Saturday, and lots of things going on. The Symphony Chorus of New Orleans will perform Celebrate the Earth through song. That's Sunday at 3 p.m. at St. Mary's Assumption Church, and the composition includes new age, jazz, gospel, and pop music. Go to symphonychorus.org, or you can pay for tickets at the door. And on Monday evening, WYES's own Errol Laborde will discuss and sign his new book, When Rex Met Zulu, and other chronicles of the New Orleans experience. Monday, 7 o'clock, East Bank Regional Library on West Napoleon. Thank you all so very much. Thank you, John, and thanks so much, y'all here at the table. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. The American Italian Cultural Center and Museum on South Peters in New Orleans offers event venue space, Italian language classes, dual citizenship and translation services, seminars, genealogy, and trips to Italy. Ciao! AmericanItalianCulturalCenter.com. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.